It's no surprise that males are venturing abroad in search of female companionship. I can't say that I blame the men when women in these countries don't respect or even like their men and continually criticize them. These men have fled their homelands in quest of a partner who will meet their high expectations and not treat them with disdain. If you give womanism any thought, you could begin to wonder if it is indoctrination or if it is simply something women have always secretly wanted but hasn't had the capacity to achieve on their own for millennia. Since I want to be totally honest here, I will answer that both are at work, with a greater proportion going to womanism because it is something that women have always secretly craved. It comes to reason that a person who has been treated as the lower of the senses their entire life would welcome the chance to be treated as an equal and gain power and influence over the person who has always viewed them as inferior. Most modern women share the sentiments expressed here. They are taking a chance because they have never been subject to the actual authority before. Finally, we have a firm grasp of the situation. This is how women treat males they think of as inferior. When women feel a man is beneath them, they cast him aside, and when they feel a man is above them, they momentarily succumb to him. I believe that humanism has always been the goal of modern progressive women. Please shed light on why so many contemporary women prefer womanism to traditionalism if you disagree with me. Modern progressive women view the traditional norms in which men are the leaders and women are the followers as a sign of weakness. When women, however, make a statement in favor of macho dominance and sensual liberty at the expense of males, it is celebrated and shared. Does womanism symbolize something they've always wanted but thought they'd never achieve, or are they merely following the indoctrination? What I've observed and heard suggests that womanism is what women have always wanted. I think there is just too much evidence supporting that conclusion, not that I care. It's fine to let them continue to follow any sort of misogyny blindly. Put them in charge of their own repercussions. Adhering to the womanism philosophy can lead to financial success for career-focused women in their late teens and 20s with an insane work ethic, which is unusual. But these women tend to forget that as they age, their looks and body will begin to degrade while their attitudes will remain the same. If women want to start a family, they won't be able to locate a mate. If these women don't want to get married and have kids, womanism is the way to go. They work hard to establish themselves professionally, save for and buy their perfect car, enjoy life on their own terms, and eventually pass away without anyone by their side. However, womanism hurts their chances of getting married and having children. Since of this, they are filled with resentment and frustration because they cannot satisfy all of their needs. Men are the missing piece, yet they aren't helping out. I sincerely hope that I have made it abundantly clear why womanism isn't a practical option for most women. The thought of growing old, alone, and powerless is too painful to contemplate. So, they start looking for a hero in the hopes of saving themselves from a life on the streets or in an orphanage. Most women who identify as feminists or adhere to the womanism philosophy believe they don't need men. Yet research shows they actually rely significantly on their male partners for emotional and practical support. They may be their fathers, ex-husbands, casual partners, or members of the armed forces or law enforcement. They still require monthly financial assistance while being expected to be self-sufficient. What I've observed among today's modern ladies is their embrace of the womanism idea. To return to our initial subject of why men go to such great lengths to locate a wife or girlfriend, today's women have worn males down with their constant bees. Everything women demand that is based on womanism is not for the development of men, and the constant disrespect and high barrier of entry, just to sit down and go on a date with one of these women, are driving men away because they cannot live up to it. When he does manage to win a woman over, however, he gives her only the bare minimum in terms of attention. Before they finally split up, she will treat him like trash, never stop nagging, and probably even cheat on him. So why did he have to give up his kids? While I disagree with the sentiment that single men should travel abroad to pursue love, I can see why some people hold this view. You need to be aware of the fact that other women will use you in the same way your current abusers have. Several of the women I know, for instance, have partners who have arranged sexual encounters between them and men from developed nations, and then sent the ensuing financial contributions back to their families. The world is cold, therefore everyone needs to bundle up. Let's look at what causes guys to abandon their relationships. Gender roles used to be well defined back then. Even while we've made some headway, it hasn't been free. Gender roles in today's America are still a hotly contested topic. Many of us, men and women alike, wonder what role our genders play and whether or not they should be deciding considerations. These dudes know how to woo women the classic way. In my house, females have always been treated with dignity and respect, whereas women's primary function is to help men amass wealth and power. The ideals of chivalry are worthy of emulation. Consider how much more grateful you would be if your manager, instead of a coworker, held the door open for you to illustrate this point. Both genders used to treat their subordinates with the same level of respect and deference that today's bosses show to their staff. Men were polite and respectful, and they exercised their authority with grace. In today's business, superiors no longer have the status of a peer. She is no longer impressed even if you pay for dinner. As a matter of fact, we currently anticipate this. Chivalry may not work with today's American women, but it has a good track record with women in poorer countries. The dating scene is connected to economic and social dynamics. The dating industry is dominated by women, and while the job market remains stagnant, they are increasingly resorting to manipulative and predatory tactics toward males. Dinner dates on their own are no longer sufficient, and this is why there are so many dating apps available. Individuals have limited time and need a method to use dating to get through the month. These ladies only care about money. The era of traditional dating is over, and men must adapt to the new reality of transactional relationships. Allow me to transition to the next point. The typical American lady feels she is entitled to certain things. In some situations, they want men to be men and women to be women, while in others, they want us to respect each other as equals and not make any distinctions. All too frequently, men jump to the wrong conclusions. Women would love it if we had telepathic abilities. They want us to understand that no can mean yes, no can not yet, and yes can always mean no. If we make even one mistake, we'll be branded as cowards, and ladies don't appreciate cowardly guys. That is terrible news, since it means the woman is dead and gone. Any misstep could lead to accusations of assault. Although some American men have figured it out, the vast majority has given up and gone on to simpler pastimes, such as dating women from other nations. Because of their lack of economic security, women in developing nations rarely display entitlement attitudes. When they do, they become completely devoted to their new leader, yearning for his company and support in every way possible. Women in these countries aren't embracing womanism because of economic limitations. In their culture, men have not provided equal rights and opportunities for women, and neither has society allowed women the option to choose to be feminists. In their most fundamental form, men just want to feel appreciated. There is now completely zero appreciation for women. They believe they are entitled to a certain level of consideration simply because they are female. I can't remember the last time I did something good for a woman and she thanked me for it. My counsel to men has always been to follow their own paths. Either embrace your individuality or learn to fit in where you are needed. That's all for today on Circle of Kings. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. See you next time. Cheers.